So this month's main course, we're going to be doing a lamb fillet with butternut potatoes and a salsa verde. Really nice, like, hot weather dish. Beautifully simple. So, first thing you need to do is, we want this all to be ready at the same time. We need to get our new potatoes on. So I've already got my pan of water boiling away here. Now, there's a bit of a rule about when you're cooking anything that's grown from the ground. If it's grown under, you put it in cold water first, and then you bring it to the boil. If it's grown over ground, you put it straight into hot water. New seeds and potatoes break that rule completely, shattered to smithereens. It's all to do with the pores on the vegetables. How we do it? Just going to give them a blanching. Wow, this is rickety. It's like cooking on ship. So all we're going to do is just going to... Or a bus. Oh, we've done that one. We're just going to cut these in half, flat surface, opens it all up, we're going to cook a lot quicker. Try and weed out any like little eyes or anything on it. Like that one. Just nip the tip. Waste as little as possible. Now they're going to be boiling in there for about 10 minutes probably, just to get them nice and soft. In that time, we're going to look at our lamb. So lamb loin, or might be known it as lamb cannon, lamb fillet, basically all the same thing. So this is just like your fillet steak, sits underneath where the loin and the spine and everything sits. It's just tucked underneath there. It's not a massively used muscle, so in that sense it doesn't take a lot of cooking. What we're going to do, just going to trim off these little ends here because they've just got a little bit of fat and sinew. It's just a connective tissue, it's nothing sinister. And then there's just this little piece here. It's just called the chain. It's like a thin layer of tissue that's just attached at the end. To be fair, Butcher's done a pretty good job of taking most of it off, so I'll have to thank him for that later. There's just a couple of little bits that I don't want on there. Nothing particularly harmful about it or anything. Makes it a bit harder to chew. And one thing that I don't quite like about it is that it curls the meat. So if I'm looking at presentation, I want the meat to be in a similar sort of shape to this. With that sinew, it doesn't cook quicker, so it might like curl the fillet round and you end up with some odd shapes. Pan nice and hot. Splash of oil in there. Don't go mad, we're not deep frying. Just get that really hot. Sealing meats is one of those few things I'll actually do on full blast. Tiny bit of salt. Lamb's quite salty anyway, or I find it anyway, so it doesn't need masses of salt. Probably I'd say a little bit more pepper than salt. I seem to be collecting cloths again.
Oh! What are you up to now?
I'm up to 2.
Ooh.
3.
Oh.
Up to 3.
Oh.
Starts to look like Nelly the Bastard Elephant.
7.
I only really notice I'm doing it at the minute because my apron's getting heavier and heavier. So I can just feel it going down. Once your pan's nice and hot, give it a quick tap just to make sure. Yeah, we got sizzle. Lay the meat in, away from you. So this is we're just sealing this, we're not fully cooking it on here.
Why do you have to seal it?
So we're sealing it, so one, we're creating a layer of colour, so colour equals flavour, golden rule, and it locks in all those meat juices as well, all the really tasty bits. You don't want those juices to run away and disappear into the pan, you might never get them back. So we're going to give this about a minute each side, get a nice golden brown on it, and we're going to be dropping it into the oven for about 8 or 9 minutes. After that first minute and a half or so, turn it over. Lovely golden brown now on the outside. I'm going to drop that pan down low. We're going to be using it in a bit and try and capture as much of that flavour that's still locked in that pan. And then this meat, just seared on it. Just a nice colour on the outside. I'm going to drop this into the oven now. Hopefully this is cooked and rested by the time I finish messing about with those potatoes. Alright, so now our sauce. Callum, I'd like your assistance on this one, please. Sorry, Steve, Jeff, whatever the fuck you name we're going by these days. Sorry for that abrupt cut, but we seem to have had some technical difficulties. So we've had to switch cameras, but hopefully we're back on track now. All you really missed is Callum /Nigel/Jeff / David, whatever hell name you're using at the minute.
Wang.
Fair enough. I don't know why this is a thing. Came over and picked some mint for me.
Keep your enemies guessing.
I've shredded some parsley and I've chopped up some onion. And you may have missed that amazing top tip about chopping herbs, so I might have to just drop that one in at another time. I'm doing it now. I can say it now.
Oh,
get it? Right. Well, so yeah, what I mentioned before, that when you're chopping any sort of like fresh herb or anything, the more you mess with it, the more you stab at it, so don't do any of this rocking stuff. The more you do that, the more flavour you leave in the board, the less goes into what you're making. So, into your diced onion, your diced parsley, a load of shredded mint. Mint and lamb go together like
Nigel of the Queen.
Nigel of the Queen, birds of a feather. Chalk and cheese is opposites, that's not good. Whole grain mustard. About half a spoon's worth, that's enough for me. Splash of white wine vinegar, a little bit of acid, works a treat. Rapeseed oil, I prefer this over olive oil because I'm not Jamie Oliver. That's the thing now.
He's learning.
Rapeseed oil, British product, more sustainable. I find it doesn't tin as much, doesn't burn as less, and I just find it a little bit more refreshing on my salads and stuff. So it works as a good cold dressing oil.
Do you have to use white wine vinegar? Can it be any acid like lemons or?
You could use that, yeah. It wouldn't have as potent effect. Like if you were making this and you were leaving it a couple of days, the acid in the lemon will probably do a lot more damage to the greens and bring those out. Whereas the vinegar, I find, seems to hold it a lot better. So we've got our onion in there, parsley, mint, whole grain mustard, vinegar and oil. And finish off, good old bit of salt and pepper, chef's best friend. And then we just let that sit now until we need it really. One cool thing the vinegar will do as well, to help soften those onions as well. I'm dropping towels. How many was I wearing? So let's check our potatoes. Yeah, they're nice and soft now. Do I dare ask you to drain some of these off, or is that camera going to break too as soon as you move?
Oh, the last time it didn't end well.
So we've got our blanched potatoes, and then this pan that we kept nice and hot earlier, just been kept on low. It's still got all that lovely juice from the lamb that came out. Potatoes in. So we're just marrying these flavours now, so the whole dish is going to come together. A little bit of salt, try and encourage them to crisp up a bit. A bit of pepper. Chop these. A little bit more parsley. Just helps season the potatoes. That's enough. Don't want to overdo it. And while they're finishing off, hot in there, got our lamb. There's lovely and pink in the middle, somewhere between medium rare, medium. That sort of area. I'm happy with that. And then we're going to wang in here, good knob of butter. So the butter's going to go into the pan. It's going to help emulsify the potatoes, give them a nice lovely shine, and as it cooks out it's going to brown to get that nice, call it a burn, was it? Just a brown butter, just an extra depth of flavour to it. As they're approaching the last few minutes, in with your extra bit of herbage. Now, moment of truth, Mr. Larry Lamb. Yeah, I'm pretty confident it's a nice temperature in there. I'm just going to carve it. Nice. Happy with that. So it's had a few minutes resting. And don't miss out on the resting, because if you rush it and it just carves straight into it, you're just going to end up with like chewy meat. But if you imagine if you put your hand on something hot and it's burnt, instant reaction, your hand closes. over time you're going to be able to open that hand up. But if you're just trying to carve it like that, it's got tough meat.
For the general viewer at home, how do you know what inside the temperature is?
So there's a few methods. There's the one where you touch your face. I don't really like that one. You shouldn't really be touching your face or touching food. I don't know. It's a bit of a hygiene no-no. Another one is the feel of the meat compared to like on your hands. Like well done, medium well, medium, so on. You can feel it there. Or instant visual cue. There's blood coming to the surface. If there's blood coming to the surface during resting, you hit medium rare. If it's clear, you're now in towards the medium and so on. We are about ready to plate. So we've got our potatoes. We've had a bit of encouragement in the pan. Just get them a bit crisp, get a bit of colour. A little bit of seasoning on them as well. Ooh, that's my favourite one so far. Position your lamb. I like to put the end piece underneath. Acts as a bit of a trivet as such. That lamb sat on top of it. And then finish this off with that salsa verde.